The architectural design of a building can be essential for rhetoric, whereas it can attract certain customers and groups of people to shop there. In Urban Outfitters, they do a great job of maintaining the same architectural design throughout all of their buildings to give it a simple aesthetic that engages with its customers. Urban originated as a unique retail experience and community center for creative college-age customers. They have a purpose for all of their design choices, and it is quite interesting how they use a simple, urban design to give the feel of industrial Philadelphia to attract its customers by combining the new with the old. From the design of the building to the materiality to the furnishings, everything is specific to their store. They generally have a very open concept floor plan, making it easy for customers to shop and to strategically place pop-up shops. Upon opening their website and going to the About Us page, you find an About Our Stores section where they describe how they started in West Philadelphia, across the street from the University of Pennsylvania. They continue by stating, "Instead of transforming buildings into something new, we preserve their original features, a trait that has become our signature look. We strip back the paint to its first layer, expose brick walls, and use original pieces as displays and fixtures. Our approach goes beyond historical preservation. It's about maintaining a layered history, but infusing a new, fresh atmosphere." Creative Director of Urban, Stephen Byers, said in a recent interview, "For the store's interiors, we look to simplicity, and as you can see here, you can see the scaffold, the exposed concrete, and the raw wood. Over the years, Urban Outfitters has evolved to be more clever with the buildings it uses as stores and the space available inside to create an ideal store experience for its customers." Byers continues by stating, "From the beginning of a store plan, we are working out how the design is going to look, and the fixtures and the layout. Our brand's main appeal is to women, so that usually comes first and occupies 2/3 of the store." This in itself screams rhetoric, as it shows how all of their design choices is for a specific purpose that nourishes their sales. Urban does a great job of using these aesthetics across all of their stores, and have done so in a way that you can recognize the store without even seeing the name. As you can see throughout all of these stores shown, their designs vary slightly, but they all use the same original design features that Byers describes. They also do a great job of incorporating more into their stores, such as event spaces, dining areas, and pop-up shops that enhance the rhetoric by attracting more people to their stores and bettering the community. For example, at Space 1520 located in Los Angeles, California, they bring together retail with spaces for art, events, performances, and pop-up shops, all part of the rhetoric in order to discover artists, experience the city, and connect with the locals. In this next example, Space 98, in Brooklyn, they combine shopping, art, events, and even dining all into one urban, along with galleries and ever-changing pop-up shops specifically curated for that community. Next, we have Space 2420, located in Austin, Texas, who also incorporate marketplaces and live music in an attempt to bring the whole community, artists, designers, and musicians together. Even Herald Square, located in the heart of New York City, uses a first-level cafe to intrigue customers to shop.
Urban Outfitters is one of the easiest stores to communicate the hidden roles engineering plays in designing and developing the rhetoric of clothing stores. Different types of engineering can be found throughout the store in clothing, home products, technology, and furniture. Something as simple as the components of an entranceway of a store are designed by engineers. This door handle and simple sign are one example. Upon entering Urban's store, we see that there are industrial-style racks, shelving, tables, and hangers. We see different exposed woods, beams, and industrial piping used for design and function. Engineers are responsible for determining the best materials for these jobs. The piping that is found supporting shelving and freestanding rolling racks, as well as the wood and metal shelving, are chosen based on what will satisfy the design rhetoric the store is looking to achieve, while also being the most efficient material for consumer use, as well as the most cost-effective for the company. Each of these shelves, racks, or hanging units needs to be checked to see what the maximum weight each design can hold. This helps the store determine how many articles of clothing they can put on each shelf without it collapsing. Urban also sells home and lifestyle consumer products such as games, glassware, candles, light fixtures, knickknacks, books, records, cards, journals, and other products. These products are designed and developed by entrepreneurs and engineers. The store also sells lots of beauty and cosmetic supplies such as face masks, makeup, lotions, and nail polish, all of which are designed by chemical engineers. The technology in the store is also developed by engineers. This includes the computers and software the store uses to make gift cards, take inventory, and check out customers at a cash register. Engineers are also responsible for designing and 3D printing the molds made for price scanners, computer stands, credit card machines, and the iPad docking stations modern-day stores are planning to use. Urban also employs textile engineers to develop their home lifestyle products. They are responsible for deciding which materials and textiles are best used in products such as pillows, blankets, and duvet covers that may make the most durable, warm, and stain-resistant blanket. Or they may help decide what materials will make the coziest sweater or waterproof jacket or flannel shirt.
When you first walk into the store from the men's side, you can see a lot of popular brands, and within these brands there's a lot of trends within textiles, which you can see right off the bat when you walk in. First, I'm going to be talking about this fleece, fuzzy texture that you can see in a lot of clothing right now, seen right there. And right off the bat, when you first walk in, you can see it in multiple occasions. Right here is just 4 of them. So going a little bit more in depth, walking forward, you can see Champion, a really popular brand right now, has an entire rack of this texture. Also Feel, another popular brand, has a whole rack of this fleece texture. And then also right at the entrance, you can see even more racks and different examples of this texture being shown. You can even see it whenever you go further back into the store. A bunch of separate brands, like this is the Urban brand, also has this fleece texture. On the women's floor, here's some more examples of that being shown. These are a few pieces that I saw fairly close to the entrance. And right on the left here, you can see even more of this being shown. And again, in some sections around, you can see random pieces scattered throughout the store. And then they put this section right by the fitting room because it's really popular right now. Another popular textile shown during the wintertime is these really puffy jackets. So this is right on the women's entrance when you first walk in. You can see a bunch of different of these puffy coats. And you can also see some of these chunky knit sweaters. This is the table that you see when you first walk in. Right again, there's a whole table here that has even more of these chunky knit, sort of thicker sweaters. Next, we're going to be talking about flannels, which can be seen a lot towards the back because they're not so popular right now in the winter seasons. So right here you can see a whole rack of these, and they're also put further towards the back of the store because they're not really promoting those sort of things right now, but they're still there, following trends in textiles. So here we have more examples of this flannel stripe pattern being shown. Here again we can see some more of this pattern in some shirts in the women's section, also shown on some pants and skirts. We also see it some in the pants up here, this flat pattern, and then down in the men's section we can also see this pattern being shown. Next I'm going to be talking about corduroy, which is a really popular textile right now during the winter season. So here's some corduroy jackets. You can see it a bunch with some fleece back there. You can also see it in the pants. Here's an example of a thicker corduroy jacket. Another thing Urban's known for is their graphic t-shirts. On the men's side, you can see this big section here of a ton of different graphic tees. They have a lot of imagery on it that relate back to artists and TV shows, music groups. There's a lot of things that a lot of people can relate to, which is really popular right now. Lastly is an example of some textiles that are popular but not being promoted right now, which are these nylon silk sort of graphic tees and jackets. Because it's winter out, they're not going to promote any of these like thinner materials. So these can be seen here, a bunch of different examples right there, and some short sleeve t-shirts, which aren't being promoted as much and are towards the back of the store because of the season right now.
So my major is fashion, merchandising, and management, and the concept of management and managing is usually really obvious to people, and it's more easy to understand than the concept of merchandising, which can be kind of confusing to people outside of my discourse or professional community, and like people might not always know exactly what merchandising is. So merchandising is usually defined as the variety of products that a certain retailer is selling or has available for sale, and the display of those products in like a way that stimulates interest or entices customers to make purchases. So it could also be used as a method of communication where a retail store communicates with its customers and the way that people that walk by the window display react as they pass. And it's one of the many communication techniques that the fashion industry uses to deliver messages to the whole entire world. So these videos were taken during the holiday season and specifically on Black Friday, where every store is trying to lure more and more customers in and like sell them as much merchandise as possible. So there are a lot of different components that contribute to visual merchandising and can influence a customer's choice. The first one would be color. So color helps your store attract attention and encourages consumers to quickly step into the store. Using colors like red and orange at the entrance, the store tends to stand out and draw the eye, while cool colors like blue and green will keep your store calm, and that is usually used more in the interior of the store. So another key component would be a sign. A sign can act as a salesperson in the store, outside the store. Outside the store, the sign will usually attract a customer within 10 seconds before they enter the store. And inside, if you are a big store and you're selling multiple products, without a sign, your customers can get really lost and you can lose a sale since they can't find what they're looking for. A couple more are lighting, window display, music. Lighting is really important because you have to be able to see the merchandise, and like casting shadows on it can alter the way you look at it. Window display, obviously you need to attract people into your store. You want to increase traffic and sales, and music can represent your theme of the store. So now I'm going to talk to you guys about how the particular store that I visited, how its visual merchandising contributes to the customer's buying process. Here we see the entrance to the store and the main window displays. So large posters announcing discounts are dominating Black Friday windows, and we see people stopping by and reading the posters and entering the store to check out all the merchandise. And then as we enter the store, we notice that all the cold weather items are displayed right at the entrance. So this particular store was in New York City, where it does get really, really cold in the winter. So it was the perfect display for a cold morning. Customers were also stopping by those items first, which are also the more expensive items. So the store had 2 floors, with one floor on the street level and another larger floor downstairs. And as we walk down the stairs, we see that the discounted items are taking up all the front positions during the sale. So people are more inclined to stop by those discounted items first and buy them. And then also the evening wear display is located on the first floor, where mannequins are dressed in like party attire for like the holiday season where people are going to parties a lot.
As you can see, Urban uses rhetoric in all of their design choices and does so in a way that brings the community together. Whether it be materiality, layout, design, spaces, or incorporated features, Urban has a purpose for everything, and thus does a great job maintaining a large consumer base throughout the use of its rhetoric.